A terrifying vision slash dream that I had last night. Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai to return. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And basically, I would like to share a vision and a dream, a terrifying one that I had last night. And basically, in this dream, I was inside of a FEMA or a concentration camp. And basically, I was looking around, but while I was in this FEMA and concentration camp, I heard these kids crying in the background. And some of these kids that were crying, they were saying, I want my mommy, I want my daddy. Where's daddy at? Where's mommy at? And when I had turned my head, I saw this bird cage. And inside of this bird cage, there was an Israelite baby. Now, the kids that were crying in the background were Israelites too, in which the Israelites are the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians. So there was this newborn baby sitting inside of this bird cage, crying and screaming helplessly, just crying there, crying and screaming, locked up inside of this bird cage. And it was just laying there on its back, crying, helpless. And again, there were also Israelite kids that were in the background crying too, crying, panicking, terrified, saying, where's mommy, where's daddy? And then for some reason, from here on out, my eyes were hard focused on the birdcage where the newborn baby was at. And of course, the baby had on a diaper, but that's all it had on was a diaper, And while my eyes was hard focused on this birdcage, out of nowhere, I saw this Edomite, the so-called white person, that had on some blue gloves, and he had on this white jacket. I don't know if it might have been a white surgical jacket, but the gloves were like a white bluish color, and basically there was a lot of blood on his gloves and on the sleeves of his jacket, and he opened up the bird cage and he took the baby out of the bird cage. And while this Israelite, and like I said, my eyes was hard focused on this bird cage from there on out. So from here on out, this is all based on what I'm hearing now, So in the background, I'm hearing this baby crying and the kids crying, and out of nowhere, suddenly I start to hear this extremely loud electric saw. It sounded like a drill, but it could have been a electric saw. I don't know, but it was very, very loud. And then you start hearing the kids panicking even more. They start crying louder. They start crying harder. They start, certain kids were screaming. And then the baby that I was hearing that was crying, the baby went from crying to suddenly coughing as if it was suffering, as if it was coughing up blood. So I don't know what was happening with the baby. Maybe the baby was getting sawed in half. I don't know. But the baby went from crying to coughing in pain. And it was coughing up blood multiple times. And then you just got the kids there screaming in the background. Now, I perceived that the kids were forced to watch what was happening to the baby because they went from crying and panicking as they normally would, asking for their parents to, when the song got turned on, and the baby started coughing up blood, the baby went from crying and coughing up blood. The kids started panicking greatly. They started crying greatly. So the kids were terrified. So it was like they was forced to watch what was happening to this baby. And then suddenly I didn't hear the baby cough anymore. And and then after that, that's when I woke up out of that dream. You know, and basically I was troubled in my mind from that dream. And a matter of fact, because I was listening to some music from my phone, before I had went to sleep and I had left my music playing. And basically, when I woke up out of that dream, I was so troubled in my mind, I ain't even want to listen to the music. I didn't. I turned that music off, man. And a matter of fact, I was so troubled in that dream that I literally had to set up a prayer at that very moment, man. And what I basically I sent up prayers for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai to, if it be His will to give His elect men, brothers that are of the elect, spiritual power in these last days to defend themselves, their wives, and their children. Because I was that troubled in my mind, man. First thing I thought about when I had that dream was, you know, because the scriptures say that when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Lord shall lift up a standard against these devils. So, hey, man, I was praying and making supplication and begging to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai that, if it be His will, please give brothers, spiritual power to defend themselves, their wives, their wife, and their children. Because that dream I had was not pleasant, man. And that dream felt very real, man. The things they was doing to these Israelite children in these FEMA camps. But at the same time, I also had that same mind frame. Well, I had that same attitude that Yahushua had when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane. When Yahushua said, "Nonetheless, not my will, but Thy will be done." That's what Yahushua said, and I had that same mind frame. Like, nonetheless, not what I ask or beg of Thee, but Thy will be done. Because the Lord's some of the Lord's elect men are going to be martyrs for this truth, but they're going to be risen up again when Yahweh shall return. That dream I had, man, had me troubled. I ain't even want to go back to sleep, to be honest. But, uh, terrible times are coming, man. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 23. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Okay? Well, what kind of creature gives suck? Okay? In this verse, this is talking about babies. Babies who have to be breastfed by the woman. Okay? So after I had that dream, this is one of the scriptures that came to my mind. And when Yahushua made this statement, he was mainly talking about the Israelites, which are the so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indians. This is the word woe goes back to the Hebrew word abadium, which means destruction. But then you got these false pastors and Israelite teachers out there who say, "Oh, God is all love. God is all love, folks. You would never hurt a fly. You don't have to worry about God harming people." But what did Yahushua say? He said, "They that have seen me have seen the Father." And like the saying goes, like father, like son. Yahushua is like his father. And these are the words of Yahushua, who the world ignorantly called Jesus. He said, woe. The word woe goes back to the Hebrew word abadium, which means destruction. That's not a pleasant saying, man. But woe, destruction unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. This is going to happen to the 2/3 of our people. But you got these false Israelite groups out there. You got these false. You got these leaders of these false Israelite groups out there. These false prophets that's not warning our people of these things to come. Serious, perilous times are coming. You should be warning your congregation about this, but you're not. Okay, General Hireling Johanna, Hireling Nate. You ain't no damn bishop. You a hireling. You a straight up hireling. Okay, the leader of GOCC, Zabak, you're all hirelings, man. You're supposed to be warning your people about FEMA camps and concentration camps and martial law. The wolf is coming. But here it is. You're not giving off a serious tune. You're not giving up a serious tone. You're not blowing the trumpet. The kind of tone you're giving off is a tone of mirth and comfort. Okay? Read Amos 6, verse 1. Woe unto them that are at ease in Zion and trust in the chariots of Samaria. I'm just roughly paraphrasing. Okay? And a matter of fact, this is the kind of tone, Salakia. And a matter of fact, this is the kind of tone that you false Israelite groups are giving off. You know, you're giving off a threatless bass. And yeah, by the way, the piano is my most favorite instrument. I love the piano. Okay, when I was a child, my mom, she bought a electric organ for me and my brother and sister. You know, and I remember I used to always play on that instrument. I love the piano. That is my most favorite instrument. But you know, and basically on the electric organ we had, you know, it had multiple like instrumental. It had multiple instruments installed into it. You know, but you know, this is the kind of tone that you false Israelite groups are giving off here. You know, you're giving off you're giving off a threatless bass. You know, look, that's you right here. A fucking joke. The word threatless means threatless. Okay, threatless. You false Israelite groups out there. You're giving off a threatless tone. That's you right there. Who's gonna take a tone like that seriously? People's gonna be laughing. The scriptures say, "Woe unto you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep." You know, you're not giving off a serious tone. Isaiah 58:1, I believe it is. The Lord said, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion." Okay? Because back in the ancient world, whenever Jerusalem was about to be, whenever Israel or the land of Israel was about to be attacked by a military or an army, the trumpet was always blown. A serious, severe, alarming tone was given off to the inhabitants of Israel to warn them that their city was about to be attacked. But You leaders of you false Israelite groups out there, you're not doing that. You're giving up a fretless tone, a fretless bass. Titus 1 verse 11, whose mouths must be stopped. Yeah, that the mouths of you false Israelite groups out there must be stopped. Because you're over here telling your congregation to take the V, Maxine. You're over here telling your congregation you got to be a fool not to take the chip, which is the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. You other leaders of these false Israelite groups out there, you're not warning our people about Maxine. You're not warning them about the coming civil. Don't you know civil unrest is about to break out here in America? Why aren't you warning you people about those things? But like Yahawadah said in the book of Luke, the 12th chapter, and somewhere amongst the 45th or is it the 46th chapter on down, what did Yahawadah say? And he that knew his Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. So you leaders of you false leaders out there of you different Israelite of these false Israelite groups, you're going to get it far worse than the average so-called Black, Latino, and Native Indian out there that don't know any better, because you know better. You know who the enemy is, but you acting like you don't know. Okay, whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things they ought not for filthy lucre's sake. Right? So you gonna get it bad, man. Okay, read the book of Judges. Read the account on Achan. When the Lord punished the Israelite man, okay, when the Israelite man committed sin, guess what? Him and his whole family had to pay. Him and his whole household. Okay, because the man is the head of the house. The man was the head of the house back in the ancient world. Okay, Achan. He disobeyed the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahawadah, and he went and took some Babylonian garments, some gold and some silver, and some other stuff. And what happened to him? Not only did he have to pay the price for his transgression, for his sin, but his wife and his children had to pay too. So what do you think I'm saying here? The Heavenly Father and His Son, they're not going to just punish you, General Yohana, Nate, you leaders of these false Israelite groups. He's also going to punish your family that are of the 2/3. Your children is going to be punished. Your wives are going to be punished, and you're going to be punished. Okay? The book of 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. And they which have abused my ways, when yet liberty was open to them, the same shall know it after death by pain. Okay? And you and your family is going to have to pay the price for that, man. For the Heavenly Father is going to make you and your family pay the price for that. Why? Because you're deceiving your congregation. And then when you wake up in the kingdom of heaven after coming back through the loins of the elect, you're going to be ashamed of what you did. You're going to be sitting there with your head down. You ain't even going to want to look at the Israelite man of the elect in the kingdom. You're going to be too ashamed to do it. You're going to be just like our dog Tyson in his house. Whenever I look at him sometimes, he'll sit there in the corner and pout with his head down as if he doodled on a rug or something. That's going to be you niggas in the kingdom. We're going to look at you, and then you're going to turn your head and you're going to look down at the ground. So back in Luke 21, verse 23, but woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress. The enemy shall come down with great wrath. Behold, for that day is great. For none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but the elect shall be saved out of it. For there shall be great distress in the land. What land? That's talking about Israel. Israel is a people before it is a place. Israel is a people before it is a city. Israel is a people before it is a land. For there shall be great distress in the land, wherever Israel dwell at, because judgment is coming upon the whole face of the earth. The hour of temptation is going to happen upon the whole face of the earth, and wrath upon this people. Okay, the so-called white man who is the wicked and also the biblical Edomites of the Holy Scriptures, they're going to come down with great wrath, man. And the so-called elites are going to do that through the military. They're going to cast a lot of our people out of their houses and be put in concentration camps to be tortured. Excruciating pain is coming. Okay? But the Lord's going to have mercy on his elect men, okay? The ones that are of the elect, the ones that are of the elect that might have to be, the ones that are of the elect that have to be martyrs for Yahushua, hey, the Lord might have mercy on them and might make it to where they receive just a simple beheading. You know, they might not have to go through torture. But for the ones of you that knew your master's will, that did not do according to his plan, hey, the Lord, you're gonna be strapped to that torture bed, man, and the Lord is gonna allow these so-called white people in these concentration camps to do whatever they want with you, man. And it's not gonna be pleasant, and it's gonna be very terrifying. But guess what? The ones of the Lord's elect who get beheaded for this word, they're gonna be the first ones to be risen up and to be beamed up in chariots. They're going to be the first ones to be risen up to see Yahushua when Yahushua make his second return. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the next one.